joining me in the studio is Kevin Richards with our tech news guru here, as a matter of fact. Good to have you here.
Hey, good to be here, as always.
A lot of stuff going on, and some of it has to do, I know, with Uber, because I understand that people have been trying to use the app Uber in Las Vegas, but it's not working. Now, is Uber up and running here or not?
Yeah, I've been getting that question a lot. It's been approved by Governor Sandoval and the legislature, but it is not ready to go quite yet. The most recent thing was the Nevada Transportation Authority is responsible for crafting the rules that govern how Uber and Lyft and other ride-hailing apps are going to work. So they're putting that together right now. I think Uber's saying that they're going to be available sometime around Labor Day, which is the first week of September.
All right, so it will be available then. And do you know offhand, by the way, if they don't have the same requirements as the taxi and limo company, right?
Well, I don't think we know all the rules quite yet. I think we know that while the Uber drivers are carrying passengers, their insurance will kick in. So that was one of the big concerns, is how much insurance are they going to have? And I think they're going to have $1.5 million in liability insurance. So that's definitely more than what you normally have when you're driving around in Las Vegas. I saw an article in the RJ recently. It talked quite a bit about how, Uber and Lyft talk about, the drivers, how it's such a great deal for the drivers. And, the article actually broke it down and said, well, maybe it's not such a good deal. They looked at the cost of the commission that Uber takes, the cost of gas, the fact that you're not actually constantly driving passengers around. A lot of your time is spent sitting around waiting for the app to hail you.
So people are not making as much money being drivers for Uber as they had suspected they were?
Well, I think Uber uses the phrase serious life-changing money. And then when you...
Serious life-changing money.
Yeah. And they're looking at, $500-$600 a week after...
Gross. No, I thought it was gross.
Well, it really varies. See, here's the key thing. Surge pricing. Have you heard of that before?
No.
Okay. So that's where Uber's going to make their money. That's where those drivers are going to make their money. When we have a huge event going on in the Valley and there's a lot of people hailing apps or hailing rides, they're going to raise their prices. It's based upon supply and demand. So, middle of the night, nobody's around, nobody's requesting rides. Those rides are going to be inexpensive. After a major fight or whatever, something like that down there on the strip, those rides are going to be really expensive. That's surge pricing, and that's where they're definitely going to make their money.
Okay, but sometimes they'll be making, I thought I saw the same article, and there are times that they'll be netting around in the 300 and change per week, 340 or so. I forget the exact figure, but it was right around there.
That's exactly what it was. You look at the cost of fuel, and one of the things in that number is you're not even addressing the cost of wear and tear on your vehicle, because
Right.
It is your own vehicle that you own.
Right. So, that's what, but you're right. Surge pricing means that when you have 340 1 week, but the next week's a big fight or a big event in town that people want you, now you're going to make maybe 540 in the week. So it'll average out to whatever it does. But, all right. People want to do it. That's fine. My only issues were that it should be on equal footing with taxis and limos. That was my big thing.
Right. So the taxi and limo drivers, they say that being an Uber driver is not as safe because you don't have a camera in your car. Though they're really relying as taxi and limo drivers on the fact that they have the camera to deter any crime that may happen in the vehicle.
All right. Tell me about the Google Translate app, because I could have used that when I was in Israel.
Yes, it is a really great app, and it keeps getting better. The latest thing is you can now take your phone, you can point it at a sign, or you can point it at the examples they give were washing machines or ingredient lists or instruction manuals, but you can point it, and Google will actually use your camera. It will identify the font that's being used on that sign, and then it will replace the wording on the sign. So you'll be looking through you're looking at your phone through the camera. It'll replace the wording, and you'll be looking at that sign as if it's in English. It's really quite cool.
So it could be in French, Italian, or Hebrew. It doesn't matter. But
Yep.
but as long as you point your camera the right way with this app. Now, this is a Google app that's available for all smartphones?
It is. It's available for iOS and Google, of course. So you can download that today. It's available. and it's something, it's neat. You have to try it out. Go outside, point it at a stop sign, and look at how, change it to convert from English to a different language, and then look at, you're looking through your camera, and suddenly that stop sign is in another language.
You download these through what? Through
your App Store or the Google Play Store.
Okay, either iTunes or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to have to download just to check it out.
Yeah, 27 languages.
27 languages.
27 languages, and it's actually really fast. It you download the app to your phone, and the translation, a lot of it happens right there on your phone's processor. So it's very fast. It works. It's really cool. It's fun to play with.
All right, we're going to continue our tech news with Kevin Richards in a moment. Great to have Kevin Richards in with his tech news. He's our tech news guru. I just refer you as that because it's true. I mean, I say to you something, I got a question, okay, and he's got the answer. Anything I ask, for when it comes to tech stuff, he knows. So
guru is not the cool word in our industry, though. It's more like tech news analyst or something like that.
Yeah, but guru means you're like next to a god of some kind,
Yeah, I know.
People sit at your feet and they go, enlighten me, oh enlightened one, that kind of a thing.
No, I just happen to have a little bit of experience in this area.
Oh, he's so reserved, Anyway, let's talk about Microsoft 10. I know they just launched, and anybody who has a Windows 7, Microsoft 10, what is this all about? I don't do PC, but I want to know what's going on anyway.
Yeah, there's still tons of people who are on PC and using Windows, and it's a great platform. You should, try it out every now and then. Make sure you're still a big fan of Apple. But the current version of Windows is Windows 8, and Windows 7 is really the one that most people are still on. Microsoft has this problem. Users don't upgrade. And
those people who don't upgrade.
I know. And Apple kind of has that problem a little bit with you, too. But anyway, the Windows 7, Windows 8's problem is, Microsoft is always charged for their upgrades. And so Microsoft has taken a page from the Apple playbook, and they're now giving their update to Windows 10 for free. And you'll notice that we skipped 9 because Microsoft is trying to make sure that we all understand this is a huge upgrade. It's an acknowledgement that Windows 8 was kind of lackluster, and now they want to make sure that everybody goes ahead and downloads, which is available now, Windows 10. Just go to Google, type in Windows 10 upgrade, and you'll see if your computer is able to handle it.
And what exactly is it offering?
Well, the difference now, I think the key difference between Apple and Microsoft is Microsoft PC, they're trying to really focus heavily on the touchscreen experience. And Apple has kind of separated that out. They have, the iPad experience, and then they have the Mac experience. PC is trying to tie all your devices together, which Apple does as well, but they're trying to do it with touchscreen technology. So that's what it's all about on the PC side. Now, what's interesting about this story is typically what people do is they don't upgrade their software on a Microsoft PC device. They just hold off. They say, okay, I bought it. It's a Windows XP device. I'm going to keep using it until it's too slow or there's something really incredibly amazing that I have to go get, and I'm going to buy a new PC at that time. So you've got PC makers like Dell saying that roughly 60 million of its computers that are in use right now are eligible for the free Windows 10 upgrade. So, I don't know what the math would be on that, but there's a certain percentage of that 60 million people that would have normally gone out there and purchased a new computer, and that's how they would experience Windows 10. Now all they're going to do is click download, wait several hours, and then start using it.
Several hours?
Oh, yeah, it takes a while to download a new software like that. Just like it does on Apple, though. Don't be knocking on PC just because it takes a while to download software.
All right.
You got to be on a high-speed connection, and it'll take a while. I mean, it's the entire software that powers your entire experience on your computer. So it's definitely, there's a lot of data there. All
right. I'm going to stay with Mac. That's all.
I know you are, and we know you love.
Once you go Mac, you never go back.
I don't know. You ought to go to Best Buy or something. You ought to do a little bit of showrooming. Go down there and just try it out. Try their
PC.
Try their Surface, and the Surface is the iPad equivalent. And just check it out. See how you like it.
That's what I've got right here.
It's different
in the studio.
Yeah, but that's old. That is not the new Windows 10. See, you've got
no, it's not.
You got to go check it out.
All right, let's talk a little bit about this. I'll go back to Google about something because they've got this new facial recognition technology, and what is this all about? They're improving this. How can they improve it?
Well, it's it's kind of interesting. We talked a little bit about Google Translate having the ability to look at a sign and change the wording right there. Now what we've got German engineers. They've really improved facial recognition now. The problem with facial recognition currently is that it has to be taken in very bright light, and you have to be able to see it. Now, Facebook is really leading the industry in this. They do a great job. But the German guys, they're now changing how facial recognition is done, and they're focusing more on the person's thermal signature. So it's not just the facial characteristics that you can pick out the shape of the face. It's now the thermal signature of the face. So,
which means what?
Heat. So they're able to see and focus on the heat. So it doesn't matter what the light conditions are.
You mean they could actually identify you in the dark that way?
That's what they're saying. They're saying that it's effective. They're saying that's the next way that facial recognition is going to go. Now, I'll tell you a funny story.
It's great for law enforcement, by the way.
That's exactly what it's for. I was at this is in regards to Facebook's quality of their facial recognition. I was at a baseball game last week, and my dad happened to be watching. He's like, "Hey, you're on TV." So he saw us. We were on there. So we rewound it back. He had it on DVR, and the picture quality was pretty bad. It was all pixelated out, but I snapped a picture of it and I put it up on Facebook, and Facebook, even though it was all pixelated and was, not good quality at all, Facebook accurately identified my face and my wife's face.
Wow. What game?
It was Padres game. Padres versus Marlins. And shockingly enough, the Padres won.
Good for them. Good for them.
Yes, good for them.
Although Dodgers only
they'll take every win they can get at this point.
I bet they will. All right, so you were out there and you were on TV. You're a star.
It's my national TV debut. That's right.
All right, real quickly, I want to know there's something out they claim about these Google Maps can help you avoid long lines. Now, what? I've seen this, but I'm not. What is this all about?
Yeah, so it's interesting technology. What Google's trying to do is they know how often people search for a location.
Yeah.
And they want directions to wherever it is, say the Venetian or Bellagio. And they're going to use that technology to try to predict how long the lines are at that location. So they're going to say, if you're trying to go to, the gym.
What are the DMV? That's a good example.
Well, the DMV did that as well, right? And with their Dash Pass, and I'm sure I was, of course, out of town, but I'm sure you talked about how they got rid of their Dash Pass check-in from mobile devices. But anyway, Google's trying to say, look, we've got all this data. Let's try to help you figure out the best time to go to the gym or to go to the DMV or to basically anywhere that's going to have long lines. It's going to be a little bit flawed because they're using the technology of people searching for directions to it. I don't really need directions to my gym anymore. I've been there once. I kind of know where I'm going. So it's pretty easy to find. So I think the technology is a little bit flawed there. Now, Google also does this with flights. Have you ever looked at flights on Google?
I don't recall.
It's pretty cool. What they do is they'll list out all the flights that are going to a location, and then at the very top it'll say, "Oh, by the way, you can save $50 if you travel at 1 day early or 1 day later." Or it'll say, "Oh, here's a better flight. Here's a nonstop flight."
If you're searching via Google for these flights,
right? So
okay.
Google's trying to improve the experience. Google is all about data. They're trying to say, "Hey, look, we've got all this data. We're going to make it easier for you to shop."
And now they're telling you about the lines at the stores and everything like that.
They are. Google.
Wow.
Google used to be, it's so funny, Google has really changed over the years. Google used to be, how can we get you onto our website and off as quickly as possible? They want you to find the answer you're looking for.
Now they want you to find everything through Google.
Now they want you to stay at Google. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I mean, they're showing answers on Google now. They're not even referring you off to the websites that have the answers.
Who's right now leading, Google or Yahoo?
Oh, You're striking my heart there, Alan. I love Yahoo. I've worked with Yahoo for more than 15 years, but unfortunately, they've not made the best decisions, and Google by far is leading in the search category.
Okay, I don't use Yahoo really almost at all. I do occasionally, but I do use Google almost exclusively.
Yahoo's done a great job of attracting a younger demographic, and they are, you when you look at search, that's only a part of what Yahoo is. Yahoo is really a company that's about delivering good, high quality content and creating a good user experience. If you go to Yahoo's front page, it's made for you. And Yahoo is actually beating Google a little bit in that category of personalization and making the experience better for you. So when you go to the front page of Yahoo, you start clicking around on things, it really learns what you like, and then it starts to show you better content, better things that are more relevant to you.
All right. Kevin Richards with our tech news, full of information as usual. People want to contact you. How can they do it?
They can go to the Alan Stock Facebook page. They can go to VenturaWebDesign.com. We're still running that company over there,
All right. I just want to make sure. Let's go to AlanStock.com, Ventura Web Design, the little logo on the right-hand side. Click onto that, and you will be directly in touch with Kevin Richards for all of your tech needs and news.